Welcome to Android YK. In today's video, we'll be diving into the debugging options in your Android device's developer settings. First, we have USB Debugging. This feature allows your phone to communicate with a computer for debugging purposes, especially useful for developers. When connected to a computer via USB, enabling this mode lets you run commands and interact with the phone's software. But remember to only enable USB debugging when necessary to avoid security risks. Next, there's Revoke USB Debugging Authorizations. This option is essential if you've connected your phone to multiple computers. It revokes all previously allowed authorizations, meaning you'll have to approve connections again for security. The Always prompt when connecting to USB option is there to add an extra layer of security. With this enabled, your device will prompt you every time it connects to a USB, ensuring that unauthorized connections can be avoided. Allow ADB Debugging in Charge-Only mode is a setting that limits debugging to only when your phone is charging. This can be a useful feature to keep your device safe while still allowing debugging during certain times. Next, we have the Select Mock Location app. This is where you can choose an app to simulate or mock GPS locations, which can be handy for developers testing location-based apps or for privacy reasons. Enable View Attribute Inspection allows developers to inspect the UI elements of apps. It can provide valuable insight into the attributes and layout of the user interface during testing. Now, the Select Debug App option lets you select a specific app for debugging. This means you can debug only one app at a time instead of having multiple apps open for debugging. Following that is Wait for Debugger, which puts your app on hold until a debugger is attached before it executes. Verify Apps over USB is another security feature that scans apps installed through ADB for any malicious behavior, protecting your device from harmful software. Logger Buffer Sizes lets you set the size of the buffer for storing log messages. A larger buffer means more messages can be stored and reviewed, which can be useful when diagnosing long-running processes or app issues. Finally, we have Increase Readability under sunlight. This option is particularly useful when you're using your phone in bright sunlight. It increases the contrast of the display, making text and visuals easier to see in bright outdoor conditions. That's a quick overview of the debugging settings in the developer options. Be cautious when enabling these settings, especially if you're not familiar with them, as they can impact your device's security. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Androidic for more tips and tricks on optimizing your Android device.